Thank you, Chuck, and thank you to all of our sponsors for hosting this evening, and welcome to all of you to House District 67, which I proudly represent in the new Texas House. And I am proudly running for re-election. Is that okay? Can y'all hear? Yeah. Okay. I am proudly running for re-election to the Texas House of Representatives because while we had a very good session, we have a lot more to do. And you're seeing across the United States right now what we've seen in Texas for so long, and that's the grassroots across America are waking up to a difference between elected officials and public servants who are committed to people and people who are now just a part of the political process. Elected officials who say the right things during campaign season and then go to either Washington, D.C. or to Austin or even locally on the city council and do something completely different. And when I ran for election last year to the Texas House, I committed to my constituents when I was asking for their vote, when I was knocking on doors and working moments and working town halls and events like this. I committed that I wasn't just going to go down and vote the right way, but that I was going to roll up my sleeves and go to work and fight for the people. That I was going to fight for less taxes and limited government. That I was going to fight for more transparency and more accountability in our government. That I was going to fight with everything I had to protect innocent life. That we were going to fight for education reform. That we were going to fight for a budget that was honest and transparent and that spent money where we needed to spend money. Some of these things we got done and some of the things we didn't. But I can tell you with absolute certainty this evening that I did everything that I said I was going to do. The promises that I made to my constituents were fulfilled. We had, as I said, a very good session. We passed the most radically pro-life legislation in the United States that's been passed in a very long time, thanks to our good friend Joe Longenberg. We cut taxes. We created more accountability and transparency in government. We, those of us sitting here tonight, voted against a budget that was bloated, that had wasteful spending, that didn't cut enough taxes, and these are promises that we kept to you. And so I'm proud to run for re-election tonight, and would ask for your continued support because we need to not just elect Republicans, and we need to not just elect people who say they're conservative during election season. We need to elect men and women across the state, from school boards to city councils to the state legislature to United States Congress to President of the United States, who know what they believe, who know why they believe it, and who knows that what they believe doesn't change when they're on the floor of the Texas House. The question is based on, it seems to me like you're implying that the Texas legislature has not done that. I believe it would have. By and large, we've got a governor that has consistently fought against the federal government. We've got a governor who has consistently fought against the federal government, an attorney general who sued the federal government over 75 times. We've got a state legislature who literally every day, I think all of us could give you probably over 50 instances in which we were faced with, for instance, let's talk Medicaid expansion, patient protection and Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. Literally from even before session convened in January, we had even members of our own party come to us with the Texas solution for Medicaid expansion, trying to put lipstick on a pig when it's still a pig. And we had to consistently, on a daily basis, fight off Medicaid expansion in the Texas House. I filed an amendment on May 23rd to Senate Bill 8, which is a good Medicaid bill, which basically prohibited the expansion of Medicaid under Obamacare in the state of Texas without legislative approval. And so, I agree with you that we do need a strong state legislature, a House and a Senate and a governor and an attorney general that are going to consistently not only protect our language and rights, but that are going to be vigilant in watching out for attempted abuses of our fundamental rights and fighting back proactively against the federal government. I believe we have that. I think it's at risk because you see Obama sending his people down to Texas to try to turn Texas blue. Wendy Davis is getting all this press that she's going to run for governor, be the second coming of Van Richards. I say bring it, because you've got people like us, and y'all are going to send us more reinforcements this session to continue to fight back against the federal government. Wayne and all of you as activists for bringing an issue like this to our attention as legislators. One of the things that Tea Party does so well is shine light in dark places. And establishment politicians like dark places. Agenda 21, C-scope. These are issues that now are hot button issues that we're working diligently on because of you. And I just want to say thank you to all of you for your work on this. Well, I want to go back to the questions, but thank you again. Briefly, I'll try to answer this question briefly. My sole goal in serving in the legislature and the Texas House of Representatives is to restore and to protect the paramount importance of the Constitution. One of the things that, really the only thing we're required to do in the legislature is pass the state budget, the biennial state budget. That's what we spend the most of our time on. That's what we are in constant hearings and committee meetings and debate over. I mean, that really was the focus, by and large, of the session is the budget. Everything comes back to where the government is spending, not our money, not the government's money, but your money. If I'm going to, Brett, if you're going to give me $10 for dinner, I better go buy dinner instead of go see a movie. You're trusting me to go buy dinner with that. And what the state government struggles with is actually spending your money on things that we say we're going to spend your money on. That's one of the reasons I was proud to vote against the biennial budget and pass this session. To go back to another point you made about statewide candidates seeking your endorsement, I want to offer a little piece of advice to you. Look at the records. Look at the records of these candidates running, because there's a lot of people that are going around the state right now claiming to be conservative, and their record is deplorable. Their record is deplorable, and we need to seek out and find and actively support, like you so faithfully do every election year, these statewide candidates. For instance, Ken Paxton. If Ken Paxton is going to win and be our next Attorney General, and it's going to take the people in this room going out and working for him to get him elected, because you know what? We know him the best. He's represented us faithfully for 10 years, and what he said he's going to do is what he's going to do, and what he's done. And we need to go out and in the Attorney General race, the Governor's race, and the Agriculture Commissioner race, and in the State House District 67 race, find out, seek out true constitutional conservatives who have the records to back it up.